LDBC. This is your boy, the Coach. You're live on the Coach's Show, Live. Okay, folks. Excuse the background noise and the rain. Let's just get right into it. Okay, folks. I was asked to give my thoughts. Okay, on why so many people got laid off at ESPN. Okay, and there are a lot of request videos that I can't even get through them all, but I'll try to get through them all. Hopefully by the end of this week, so I don't have much time. But I wanted to do this one in particular because it's what everybody's talking about. Okay, folks, I do have an understanding and a working knowledge about what's going down at ESPN. Okay, well, there are a couple of things. Okay, and I'm gonna explain it to you as simply as I can. You got to understand that ESPN, they've been the leader at covering sports. Okay, you're not gonna find a bigger conglomerate or network that's been covering these sports at the level that ESPN has. Okay, so you think, well, dang, Jalen Rose got fired. I mean, Jeff Van Gundy got fired. All these people, Matt Hasselbeck, he got fired. Keyshawn Johnson got fired. Max Kellerman got fired. And, of course, we all thought that people like Max Kellerman would never lose their job at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins, they get to stay. Malika Andrews get to stay. And you're wondering, like, okay, well, why? Why do these people get to stay? Well, let's talk about some of the people that did get to stay. Kendrick Perkins. Okay, now, he's not a bigger personality than Stephen A. Smith. Definitely I'd much rather listen to people like Jalen Rose or Keyshawn Johnson than I would Kendrick Perkins. The Kendrick Perkins, the whole thing boiled down to money, okay? Kendrick Perkins isn't making as much money as the people who got let go. He's not making that much. Well, I mean, compared to you or I, he's making pretty good money. But in the whole ESPN landscape of things, nah, his salary isn't going to affect the bottom line, and which ESPN, they wanted to allocate resources elsewhere, and we'll talk about that later in the video. But his salary isn't going to affect the bottom line as much as, say, a Jalen Rose's salary would. Okay, nah, it's just not going to happen. You got to think about the dollar side of what ESPN is trying to do, okay? They're trying to make room because the thing of it is that ESPN, the way that you know it, it's not effective anymore. Okay, that's number one. It's not effective anymore. And ESPN, they're trying to compete now with all the YouTubers. Because let's just think about it, okay? How many of y'all are literally, turning on ESPN, okay, to just watch the news, sports news? Okay, now we'll watch ESPN to watch, football, we'll watch basketball. But honestly, how many people are actually going to ESPN and watching them, debate over sports shows or just watching, them talk about the actual what happened? Guys, we can go to YouTube and find somebody we like. Like, we can go to YouTube. Like, I mean, I'd rather listen to, like, a Too Raw for TV. Okay? Talk about basketball. Or I'd rather listen to 7-8 Sports TV talk about basketball. Okay? Or I'd rather listen to Ticket TV talk about basketball. Okay? I would much rather listen to them talk about basketball than Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman, who, probably don't have the knowledge of a Ticket TV. Okay, because Ticket TV plays semi-professional basketball. Okay, he played the game, he knows the game. I can get more knowledge and raw content out of a Ticket TV than I could, say, a Stephen A. Smith or Keyshawn Johnson or Max Kellerman. Okay, I can't get the raw content out of them on ESPN. Okay, I can't get that, but I can from Ticket TV. That's one thing. You can go elsewhere. You can go to a YouTube channel. So, ESPN, you're competing against the YouTubers. And it's a frustrating problem that ESPN, they can't get rid of that. They can't. And then, moreover, all these people that are being let go, the majority of these people, they already have a side show. Hell, Stephen A. Smith was like, yeah, the layoffs are coming. And, he started his own podcast, which, is doing very well. Shannon Sharp, he pretty much predicted what was going to go down with him and Skip Bayless. He started Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay is doing quite well. Marcellus Wiley, he got let go at ESPN, and he's got a podcast that's not doing too bad at all. A lot of these personalities, they really don't understand. They can go start their own show like on YouTube, and they'll be successful. It's crazy. But ESPN, they're competing with the YouTubers. Like, guys, it's what happened to boxing. I mean, literally, it's what happened to the people who used to cover boxing for so long. Or, they were called, old media? Well, these people cover boxing for so damn long, and then you get some YouTubers who, they're pretty entertaining, they're pretty funny, and they have a lot of knowledge about the sport. So if you listen to somebody who can entertain you, but they know what they're talking about, what are you going to do? I mean, are you going to go pay, $19.99, a month? Or are you going to go buy a sports package when you can just come right to YouTube for free? Okay? Like, literally, you can come right to YouTube for free and watch one of your favorite people talk about the same thing. Okay, this is a no-win situation for ESPN. You do have some of the personalities on ESPN that are pretty entertaining, and people that you do want to listen to. Okay, people that you do want to listen to. I think Stephen A. Smith is. I think he's a bootleg. However, when you listen to him talk sports and debate sports, it's kind of entertaining. Stephen A. Smith is extremely entertaining. And, people saying, well, Stephen A. Smith make a lot of money. Why didn't he get cut? Because, to be honest, Stephen A. Smith is damn near the face of ESPN. Okay, I'm sure this man keep a lot of people tuned in. I mean, that's evident based on his own podcast. Like, the dude ain't even at 300 subs on YouTube yet. But, every time this man upload a video, the damn videos do like in excess of 700,000 views and counting. Okay, like and he ain't had his YouTube channel that long, and his YouTube channel is growing like just crazy. So Stephen A. Smith can get people to watch. Okay, that's who he is. The man is controversial. Either you love Stephen A. Smith or you're gonna hate the guy. Okay, but he's gonna keep you tuned in. That's why ESPN won't fire Stephen A. Smith. That's why they won't do it. He's damn near the face of your show. People are going to tune in to watch Stephen A. Smith. Okay, they just are. No matter who he's on the show with, you're going to watch Stephen A. Smith because you're sitting there and you're wondering, okay, what dumbass thing is he going to say next? What stupid-ass thing is this man going to say next? I mean, because he's going to say something stupid, and you're going to tune in. And sometimes Stephen A. Smith do make a lot of sense sometimes. Sometimes he just don't. But that's just what it is, okay? They're not going to fire the man because he's valuable to the company. He's extremely valuable. You get rid of Stephen A. Smith, somebody else just going to pick him up, okay? Another network going to pick him up. I mean, hell, it's evident. ESPN will be a fool because you can see his success on YouTube. And really, Stephen A. Smith has had a short time on YouTube with his own channel, and it's actually doing damn good. It's doing quite well. So ESPN can see the handwriting on the wall, Stephen A. Smith. Okay, you cut him. Dude will be somewhere next week. He'll be somewhere next week making more money. And now let's talk about money, okay? All right, I talked to y'all about another reason why ESPN is making these cuts. It's because of money. Now, the internet is uproar because of Pat McAfee. Okay, yeah, they're going to pay this man $18 million a year to come to ESPN or something to that extent. Okay, listen. I don't know why y'all mad at Pat McAfee. And let's get this out of the way. This ain't a race thing, y'all. This ain't a white-black thing. This ain't a race thing. Because if this was about race, Stephen A. Smith black ass would be gone. So this is not about race. Okay? I mean, they let Jeff Van Gundy go. They let Matt Hasselbeck go. They let Max Kellerman go. So I don't want to hear, oh, man, it's the white man trying to keep a brother down. I'm not trying to hear that. Not in this situation. That's not what happened. They let these people go based on money and valuability to the company. That's what it was. They let them go based on the money that they get from the company and their valuability to the company. Stephen A. Smith is very valuable to ESPN. They're not going to let him go. But now they want to get Pat McAfee. Well, okay, of course they had to let some people go in order to give a contract to Pat McAfee. They had to. And y'all want to know why they're bringing him in? Because the man can make people watch. Okay, that's just what this is. It's not because he's a white guy. Trust me, if Pat McAfee was a black guy that can have 100 million viewers watching him every day, you better be damn sure that they're going to pay him top dollar to get him on ESPN. Okay, guys, that's just what it is. The man can keep the people glued. So in ESPN's mind, their logic is, okay, when we bring him in, he can bring some of these people over to the network. Because from what I heard, some 30, 40 million people don't watch ESPN anymore. Okay? And I can see because you can just go to the damn internet. You can just go to YouTube and watch what you want to watch. But ESPN wants to bring that in. And they know that a lot of people will probably be watching Pat McAfee. They know this. Okay? They know. So this was a strategic business decision by ESPN. Okay? Now, we'll see if it's going to backfire. We'll see. Okay? Man, how they going to do it without this person? Well, that's what they're going to do. They're putting their eggs in two baskets, okay? They're going to put their faith in Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee. Those are going to be your stars of ESPN. Those are going to be your stars. Okay, and then whoever else they bring on, those people are going to be the supporting cast. Okay, you got to understand it from ESPN point of view. They've been watching Pat McAfee for years. Okay, the guy can get people to watch his channel. This man can have you tuned in to what he's talking about. This man can have you listening. Stephen A. Smith can capture your attention. He can have you listening. And these people, Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith, they got to get the gab. They're good on the microphone. Okay, and if you sit here, you might not like Stephen A. Smith, but the man can talk. The man can talk on the microphone. Okay, they're gonna keep a guy like Stephen A. Smith around because it don't matter who you put him in a chair next to. He's going to bring that debate function out of that person. It's just what it is. They're gonna build ESPN around Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith. Okay, that's what they're gonna do, guys. This was a business, a very, very, very crude business decision. That's what it was. Because the model at ESPN, it just wasn't working. Okay? It wasn't working. I mean, hell, if the model at ESPN was working, then 30, 40 million people would not have stopped watching ESPN or would not have unsubscribed to ESPN if the model was working. It's not working. So ESPN is changing. They're changing. This model, the ESPN model, it's not going to work. And it's messed up because the invention, YouTube, I have to tell you, YouTube probably killed ESPN Sports Network as we see it. I know YouTube killed HBO. I know it killed HBO Boxing. I'll tell you that. YouTube killed HBO Boxing. HBO Boxing Talk, YouTube killed it. Because you can get objective views from dudes right here on YouTube that actually know what the hell they're talking about. You know, better than some old, fossil fuel fart named Larry Merchant or some biased, racist, white supremacist mindset Jim Lampley. Like, you can get people who are completely objective, they're unbiased, and they're going to give you what it is. They're going to give it to you. So when you get 100 of these YouTube guys or 1,000 of these YouTube guys giving you the exact same thing, okay, giving you what they're giving you, without all the fluff, without all the biasness. Well, think about it. You can go watch a YouTube channel for free. Download the app on your phone. Boom, you got Boxing Talk. You got people who understand the sport on YouTube. YouTube killed HBO Boxing. And people don't even want to acknowledge that, but that's what the fuck happened. HBO Boxing is gone because of YouTube Boxing. Okay, I don't care if you with us, you were LDBC or YTBC or whatever the hell you want to call it. Don't matter. But between the two communities, you have a lot of people that know boxing, okay? And people would much prefer to listen to one of us talk boxing than a Stephen A. Smith, okay? Now, people are listening to Max Kellerman because they know Max Kellerman loves his boxing. But you have to understand that boxing, ESPN boxing, that don't make up enough revenue, okay? That don't have enough people subscribing to ESPN, so they couldn't have justified keeping Max Kellerman. I'm telling you, every decision that ESPN made was based on money, okay? It wasn't based on race. It wasn't based on who they like. It was based on money, okay? How much money can these people bring in to ESPN? That's what this was based on. That's it. Will it backfire on ESPN? I mean, that's the question that I got to ask you dudes. Is it going to backfire? Is it going to backfire? There's some people that do need to go. Like, for some reason, though, I don't understand the decision to keep Malika Andrews. The only thing I can think about is that she's very controversial. So you're going to listen to her because she's going to piss you off. Okay? You're going to listen to Malika Andrews because she's going to piss you off. And then you're going to say, well, why did this bootleg, why did she talk about, black men again in a negative light. Why she always bringing up black men's past? See, you're gonna talk about that because she's somebody that at the end of a debate, you're gonna love to hate. Okay, that's the only reason why. But it seems like people don't want to listen to her. But then you got people who are listening to her because they want to hear the shit show. Okay, that's the only reason why I can think that she's still there. But the people that let go, man, that's millions of dollars, bro. Like, I think what they say, like ESPN gonna save like some $30-40 million annually because they cut the people. They cut like Steve Young, okay? They cut damn Max Kellerman, Jalen Rose. They cut all these damn people. Susie Colbert. I remember Susie Colbert. Hell, man, shoot, she was on ESPN when I was in high school. I could look at Susie Colbert on ESPN. Man, they cut her, and I think she was there for 38 years, like crazy. But that's what happened. Businesses, they have to get with the times. And the times is that you don't have a lot of this young generation tuning in to ESPN and listening to these debates. You just don't have a lot of people doing it. The young people are not doing it now. All the young people on TikTok and YouTube. So, hell, you got to make that work. Or all the young people on Spotify. Okay? There's nobody buying an ESPN package deal. Nobody's doing that anymore. And then, moreover, if you get this young generation that can go and get these apps. Hell, they can even look at all your shit for free. This young generation already know how to look at everything ESPN got. They know how to look at that shit for free. So why would they go and pay $19.99 for a package per month when they can just go to one of their little hack sites and look at this stuff for free? See, ESPN, they're finally figuring out that you got to get with the times. They're finally figuring this out, that you have to get with the times. Because if you don't get with the times, the shit gonna pass you by. Okay? Now, I think that some of the personalities that they got rid of, do I agree with them? No, I disagree. I don't think Jalen Rose should have got fired. I mean, because his basketball knowledge is pretty good. I don't think Jeff Van Gundy should have been fired because he legit know what the hell he's talking about. I don't agree with Jeff Van Gundy on some things, but at least the man know what he's talking about. At least when you listen to Jeff Van Gundy or Jalen Rose, you can leave away from that learning something about the sport of boxing. What the fuck can you learn from Malika Andrews? Seriously. What can you learn from Malika Andrews? What basketball content knowledge does she really have? I mean, she don't have any content knowledge. The girl is just stupid. Okay, Malika Andrews is dumb, just dumb. And for the life of me, I don't get what content knowledge can you learn from that girl. I can learn something from Jalen Rose. I can learn something from Kendrick Perkins. Hell, I can even learn some knowledge from Stephen A. Smith. At least Stephen A. Smith, he played and he's covered the sport for damn near 30 years. So Stephen A. Smith has basketball knowledge. Whether he was a great player or not, the man knows basketball. He knows basketball. Hell, even the white supremacist Skip Bayless, even he got basketball knowledge. But see, when you look at a program, people want to leave the program knowing that, hey, I learned something or something just it clicked. When they was talking about it. You can get it on YouTube. So now ESPN got to be able to appeal with the young generation. They got to appeal to them. They got to give them a reason. And who's going to help them do that? Pat McAfee. It's the thing, too, where people was laughing at YouTubers, boxing and being the headlines on cars. Ain't nobody laughing now. A lot of these fighters are mad because these YouTubers can actually, headline a boxing event, have good pay-per-view numbers, and these people have been sitting on the couch or they ain't never, boxed a day in their life. They're going to lace up a pair of gloves and fight, and more people are tuning in because those people, they appeal to the younger generation, folks. That's what's happening. That's what ESPN, it took them too long to figure this shit out. Okay, the Jake Pauls, they're gonna appeal to the younger generation. That's why Jake Paul is making millions off boxing. I'm talking about doing it better than the damn people who've been in boxing doing it better, promoting it better than the damn promoters who get paid to promote. Like Jake Paul is putting people on, getting people paid. Okay, like you're supposed to be getting paid. But then you got these promoters who've been in this for years and fighters can't stand them. I ain't heard a lot of fighters say they can't stand Jake Paul. Hell, they happy because they got paid. But Jake Paul is going to promote it. Jake Paul got that young audience. their young audience, they're gonna rock with it. They're gonna fuck with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul's gonna make money. ESPN, it took them too long to figure this shit out, but they did. They figured it out, and guess what they're doing? They cleaning house because they're gonna go in a different direction. When you're a business and if what you're doing at work, and this what you got to do. Okay, you got to clean house. I give an example in my gym. A couple of the people, I had 3 people, subleasing my gym, which that was fine. Okay, 2 of the people was making me a lot of money. 1 of them was costing me money. What do you think I'm gonna do? Okay, what did you think I did in that situation? I cut the person who was costing me money, and I promoted the people who was making me more money. Because nobody wants to be in business where you lose money. Nobody wants to do that. Okay, people want to make their money. They want to make their bread. Okay, nobody wants to lose anything. Well, you got to look at the dilemma of ESPN. Okay, you got to look at their dilemma. Shit, if they keep things the way they are, then they're going to be at a loss. Okay, they're going to be at a loss. Like, they just freed up now, $30-40 million because they let all these people go. They freed it up. Man, oh man. But, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. He was like, the layoffs are not done. He said he could be laid off. I don't think he's going to get laid off, though. I don't think Stephen A. Smith is going to get laid off because he has value. And, I don't think ESPN want to look up and see Stephen A. Smith helping some other network grow, because that's what the hell happened. Whether you like it or not, Stephen A. Smith, that's why I used to trip, man, when the man, he got back on national TV and apologized. He apologized to them feminists because he was saying that women shouldn't provoke men, okay? Like, men shouldn't put their hand on women, but women shouldn't provoke men. Okay, you remember when Stephen A. Smith said that shit? And, they suspended the dude and then had him, apologizing. Well, I'm sorry. And it's crazy because Stephen A. could have went anywhere, man. And they probably would have gave him creative control to say what he wanted to say. But, he stuck. He stayed with ESPN through thick and thin.